Oh, sorry. We're in the stream. I forgot that it's only me, not Alexis. Usually we do this as a podcast. Okay, everyone, thank you so much for joining the Bubbl Burning Man Camp live stream. Burning Man's coming up. I'm an 8 times burner. Probably won't make it this year. I'm in the middle of a fundraise, but I've designed Bubbl not for Burning Man, but it turns out it's actually got a lot of functions and features applicable for Burning Man. So without further ado, I'm going to take you through I can add that to the stage. Can I now? I'm going to take you through a deck that's going to show you how you can use Bubbl to run your Burning Man camp. And I believe it's going to make it a lot more efficient than what you're doing today. So with that in mind, I'm going to present it now. So is it presenting, Alexis? I can't see. I'm assuming it is. So this is my husband and I, Drew and I. He's our customer success manager. I'm the founder of Bubbl. This is Drew. This was us at Burning Man, I think, last year. You could see the rabbit in the background there. Like I said, 8 times burner. I've been in camps. I haven't ever run a camp, but I will tell you how we founded Bubbl. So today it's probably only going to be 30 minutes long. It's a quicker presentation because you guys are pretty much pros and know what you're doing. But by the end of this, the goal is that you'll be able to run your camp on Bubbl. So I'm going to talk about what Bubbl is. I'm not going to talk about why I become a leader. You're probably all asking yourself, why did I become a leader of a Burning Man camp? I'll let you ponder that. But I'm going to talk about our features, how you get started, how you create your Bubbl listing, recruit, promote it. You can promote your Bubbl listing to your communities and then run it seamlessly and get paid. And that's the most important thing. So firstly, just an intro to Bubbl. So I was running Lake Tahoe ski houses. There are a lot of burners here who are from Tahoe or who ski, etc. And so I was running these shared houses, and I realized that there are a lot of people that really enjoyed the community living style just on the weekends. And I realized that they were not 21 and therefore they didn't want to stay in a youth hostel. And I realized that they were wanting to have this kind of experience later in life. And so that's what ski leasing was. And I was like, well, this could be a platform to take to the world, because a heck of a lot of people were not 21 anymore who still want to have fun and be social. The other thing was that it was a lot of hassle for me to run a ski lease. There were no tools to stitch it together. And I think you can probably all relate to that, being Burning Man camp managers, that, many of you have had to build your own systems. But what I tried to do, because I ran these houses for 8 years, I tried to put that all into a platform. I've got a career in tech, working at Uber, Intel, Virgin, Nokia, several startups. I own my own travel heli ski company. And so all of that, and I've traveled forever as a solo traveler and a digital nomad. So put all that together, and that is Bubbl. But what is Bubbl? It's actually the traveler marketplace designed to drive community through shared stays that are safe and affordable. So effectively, when you're running a Burning Man camp, you're running a shared stay. You're running a pop-up co-living community, as I call it. And when I started looking at, who could really benefit from Bubbl, obviously Burning Man came to mind. So Bubbl solves 3 main problems for shared travel broadly. I think 2 of them are actually, to some extent, the third one are important for you guys. So the ability to find and discover experiences. So as Bubbl unfolds and gets more people involved, we have a page, the Black Rock Desert Festival page. We're not allowed to call it Burning Man by the org, but and we have that page, and that can be where everyone lists their bubbles. If you're looking for camp members, I think over time that will become a place or destination for people to find camps in a trust and safety, in a manner that's complies with the trust and safety that you're looking for, to find and curate the right people for your Bubbl. So find and discover is really important. Trust and safety is important because when you recruit for your Bubbl, you're trying to recruit a certain amount of people, a certain type of people. A lot of you are relying on referrals. With Bubbl, I think you could safely say that you could rely on, even third-party connections, because our platform provides a user profile layer and a ratings layer to kind of show you that you might be able to avoid the sparkle ponies for your camp. Unless that is, of course, you are trying to attract sparkle ponies, in which case you could do that too on Bubbl. So the other one is organize. So what we mainly do, I think that helps you, is 9 things to help you organize your camp. And by the way, the definition of Bubbl and why we called it Bubbl, I called it Bubbl coming out of COVID. I figured everyone in the world knew what a Bubbl was, but effectively a Bubbl equals the people, the experience, and the stay all together. So in your case, it'll be the people who've got the right vibe in your camp, The stay would be, your camp's location, what it offers, what characteristics. Are you doing meals? Are you not doing meals? Of course, covering into that is like, what's expected in terms of duties and, early arrival and breakdown, all that stuff. And then the last thing is organization, which is like, what's involved. And then the third part is the people, the experience, and the stay. The experience is Burning Man. You don't need to talk about Burning Man unless you want to talk about what your camp's going to be doing at Burning Man, which you can say in the bubble. So what we do in a nutshell is we solve or simplify the leader's job, the camp organizer's job of attendee management. So we really just handle your interactions with the members of your camp from start to end, for that full journey. By 66%, we reduce the effort. And for the members, I think Bubble's really important because it provides clarity, trust, and a sense of belonging. Our software is designed with, I'll call them, what are they called? Like dashboards, but really it's a central place you can come to get all the info and know what's going on, be updated, find out who else is there, interact with them, pay, have all the expectations all aligned upfront. And so it actually, for that member who never knows what's going on because everyone else seems to know, you'll know because you'll be able to go into the bubble and see it. So I found when I was running my ski houses, there was a level of capability that looked like a bell curve. You had some people who had their shit together and knew what was going on. Most people were kind of average, and a couple of people at the tail end who just didn't have a fucking clue. They were like, okay, what the fuck just happened, right? Burning Man just happened. Wait, what was So we've designed it to cater for all of those, that bell curve of sophistication of people who are used to community living. So it contains five things here. The Bubbl Hub, which is super important. I'm going to show you. That's actually the listing. The listing turns into the hub. So until someone joins, they look at the listing. Once they join, they look at their dashboard. And in their dashboard, they see the hub. And the hub can be updated. You can have links. You can have attachments. That's where you basically show there's a private bulletin board and a public bulletin board. That's where you can kind of show people and give them information now that they're in the bubble about what they need to do, everything to do with the people, the experience, and the stay. There is a questionnaire process for screening and recruiting, along with the user profiles that you can use to recruit. You can ask them who refer them. So it's effectively, we've taken a Google Doc there and we've put it in, not a Google Doc, a Google survey, and we've kind of put it into that process. Then we've got the kind of invite process. So you'll learn that there's an invite process or an instant book process you can choose. And then you can, collect the fees, you can charge for the fees, all that sort of thing. So you can collect payments. You can split expenses when you want to by creating items that people have to pay for. Smart group scheduling. We've got like camp rostering features. So you can set up camp roster duties that people can then select on checkout, as well as we're developing this calendar, a 4-part calendar. Which will be arrival layer, rooming layer, work layer, and activities layer. And of course, we designed Bubbl not for Burning Man. We designed it for the broader marketplace, but you'll find it's very adaptable for what you need at Burning Man. And the last one is profiles and ratings. So every user on Bubbl gets a profile and a rating. Every user it's designed that every user who lives with one another in the same sort of space, we do ID verification, and we're probably going to bring in background checks because we've been told that that's very, very important, but we already have ID verification today. If you must, we could turn it off for your camp, but you'd be waiving any right you have to any, not that you would have it anyway, but you'd be, that would be on you that you want to turn off ID verification. So 9 things you can do on Bubbl for your camp. You can, as I said, create the Bubbl Hub, which sets the vibe. It's actually the listing. It sets the vibe and the expectations related to prices and camp duties. The bulletin board is for important info and updates. You can manage your preferences or your screening via questionnaires. You can collect payments, which is, fees, extras. We have a payment reminder system in place, and keep your records all in one place, which I think is super convenient for certainly when I was running my ski house, not knowing who'd paid, when paid, what did they pay, how did they pay all in one go, did they use 3 payments? It was very frustrating. You can manage your camp roster schedule. You can manage early arrivals and ticketing. You can manage one-click communications via chat or email from one place. That's an incredibly convenient feature, and it prevents the discombobulation that happens with WhatsApp, where everyone's on WhatsApp, but no one can do anything or answer anything on WhatsApp because there's 100 different WhatsApp groups that I'm in. And then we have these multiple roles, so you can actually have more than one camp admin leader. All of these features I know are kind of basic, but they're kind of important if you're going to run and coordinate a camp. And like I said, we're not promising, we can't help you run build or anything like that. We can't help you with, we can help you with the attendee management. So how does it work? So it starts with a leader. They create their bubble, they share it. The travelers find the bubble or they send the listing. It's very important that you share the listing, because when you share the listing and the person sees it and they interact with it, it funnels them into your dashboard for you to be able to manage them with like minor amounts of clicks. So sharing the listing and having them use, it's how they get into Bubbl in the first place. They apply or message the leader. It depends on if they are an instant book, or I'll show you about that in a sec. The travelers apply or message the leader. The leader's, back and forth with the applicants. They might run a webinar about the camp. Then they wait for the leader's invite. The travelers wait for the leader's invite. You invite the applicants. They wait for your invite. They accept their invitation. This confirmation process won't apply to Burning Man camps because your camp's going ahead. But if it was like a Bubbl that you weren't sure of was going ahead, you would put it into confirm stage, which then triggers people to pay. As a leader, you set up your Stripe account. They verify their ID at this point and pay for their spot. You enjoy it and get paid, and hopefully they enjoy it as well. So getting started with Bubbl. How are we doing for time? So firstly, you need to sign up. Actually, we've reduced this. We're going to change this to one screen. This is going to be streamlined to be one screen, not two. So people can sign up with Google, or they can sign up with email, and they can sign our terms of service at the same time. You have to be over 18 to use Bubbl. You set up your leader user profile. That's very important because on the Bubbl listing, it will show who you are. ID verify, you do your face selfie ID verification. Just a few things about you. All the camps that you've run and all the things that you've done will be showing there on Bubbl. You create your camp listing in 5 easy steps. Now, for you guys, you're probably going to skip the accommodation step because you will be creating your camp fees, because your accommodation is, they effectively, but you will be creating all of your pricing for your camp fees under the other items, so that it doesn't say where you're going to be staying. It sort of says, what are the other items. So there's the general tab, the accommodation, the pricing, the questionnaire, and then the bulletin board. So the listing for a Bubbl, it's more than selling rooms or selling, camp fees. You're selling a vibe and you're finding your tribe. And so you can sell like your camp fees, your daily food. If you do need to combine it with tickets and Burning Man passes, I think you can do that. Here's a camp here. So it's broken down by photos, plus the people, the experience, and the stay. There are some fields here to select like the suitable field. So when you're filling out your Bubbl, you're filling it out as if these are the people you're trying to attract, because they can then filter and find your Bubbl if they were going to find you based on that, based on things that you put here. So this suitable field is quite a good field to use, but you can put anything you want in here, any description you want. You probably just copy and paste it over from what you have today. It should take you 5 minutes or less to build your Bubbl. You might want to add camp duties. So as you're adding your, in the pricing section, as you're adding your fees and dues, like I showed you there, where you have your fees, it says extras, you will be going add an item. And if you want to add your camp duties, I highly recommend it. So this here was a guided hike, but this could be dinner, and it could be each night. So it might be dinner shift, and it might be cooking dinner and what you're going to be doing. And you might have 10 slots for that. There's 10 people doing that at this time on this date. And then you would build up your items based on this time slot availability. It's very straightforward. And then when people check out, they're actually able to select which camp duties they want to do. And then you can see that in your list of people who've bought, who ordered what, so who signed up for what camp duty. You can then add a customizable questionnaire. If you want to, screen people, it might be who recommended you. It might be what skill sets do you have to help us on camp? Like, do you have building like capabilities, etc. And then you notice here, it says, do you allow instant booking? See this one here? If you do allow instant booking, meaning you don't need to screen anyone with a questionnaire, you select that, and what it will do is allow them to be able to instant book. So here's your listing, and it says message leader or instant book, or it says message leader and apply to join. If you enable instant book, you won't be enacting the questionnaire. And if you press apply to join, the questionnaire will come up as long or short as you like. These questions can be either required or optional. So you get to choose and control the questionnaire. So the next step is the bulletin board. This is the last one. So we've talked about the general tab. We've talked about pricing. We've talked about the questionnaire. The bulletin board is where you can put in, we've actually changed this. Alexis, you need to change out this thing here. It's going to say, what's the entry instructions? What's the address? Like, is this like 845G or where is your camp? What camp is it next to? You could put, and this is all the stuff that the people arriving last minute don't know, but they get to see this because it's in their Bubbl Hub. If there's a Wi-Fi password, if you've got Starlink, then great. What time does the bubble start? What time does it end? This is not what time theirs starts. It's what time in general the camp starts and ends. The cell phone for the contact for the leader, if that's useful. Just all the things that people ask for. So that's all detailed in here. You can also fill that in the Bubbl Hub in your dashboard, which takes me to, I'm going to be showing you the dashboard in a second. So how and why to share your bubble. So importantly, when you share your bubble, so this is your listing, and then this is the share feature just here, and this is who and how you can share it. And we are looking at how we can help people auto share things, but we're going to have a Black Rock Desert Festival page where your bubble will be listed, and we will be sharing that to different groups, but also you should be sharing your bubble as well. Why you want to do that is because that when people click on this bit, apply to book, they will automatically go into your dashboard. So it's super important that your listing gets shared, because that's how it funnels applicants into your dashboard. And that from there, everything's one click for you. And I designed it this way because this is how I ran ski leases, and it made it very efficient for me to get 30 people to do something once, then me do something 30 times each time. And it's super important that you understand that. Leverage your network, friends of friends. So in the same way that you might share a Facebook post, you should share your bubble listing. And then how do you run your bubble seamlessly? So this is where the real magic comes. So on your menu in your bubble up here, you can see your hamburger menu. This is you open this menu, and down it says manage my bubbles. You go to manage my bubbles and you see a list of your bubbles. You'll probably only have one bubble at this point. And that bubble has a couple of things. There's a hamburger menu here where you can edit, delete, or duplicate your bubble. So for next year, if you just want to save time, you can duplicate your bubble and just change the dates. Pretty simple to use it next year. And then we have your dashboard. So here you can either go to your dashboard or you can edit the bubble. The dashboard's not where you edit your bubble. It's where you manage all of the things inside your bubble. Edit bubble is what I showed you before, which is that 5-stage creation process that just takes you back to that screen. Dashboard takes you to the next stage, which is the dashboard. You can see here that there is a leader dashboard and a traveler dashboard that mirror each other, and it's made up of 3 tabs: the Bubbl Hub, the Bubblers tab, and the accounting tab. The Bubbl Hub tab is where the leader keeps all the info, and then you can update this dynamically all in one place, including this bulletin board. So this shows, the entry instructions, the Wi-Fi code, the start date, the end date, etc. So this camp contact at Burning Man, this is where their tab, they get to see, everything that Bubble's about, and importantly, this, this kind of like bulletin board. The next one is the Bubblers tab. We have 2 views of that. There's a table view, and there's this neat sort of like Bubblers view where everyone and the travelers can see this in the same way. For a leader, this is where the only thing you would change here would be put your bubble from planning to confirmed. If it's not already, you would update the stage, but everything else from here, you can chat with them, view their questionnaire, view their profile, reject them, or send an email. Only the leader can send an email, but everyone else can chat. You can open up group chat or specific chats for specific people, and that's all just by ticking the boxes here. So it's actually really, really efficient, and everything's done with tick boxes, and everything's done with share. I don't know if I've got, here's the chat. This provides humanizations. You can see the users' profiles and faces. It keeps everything in one place versus the discombobulated, never-ending WhatsApp groups that get buried. At least with Bubbl, all your people will know to come to the Bubbl app and the Bubbl chat to see what's going on, and there'll be notifications up here in this little section. The accounting tab is your final tab to see your manifest, like who's paid, when did they pay? Does it say when they paid? Yes, it does. What did they buy? So that everyone, and the other people, I forgot to show you the roles here. As you can see here, the organizers, this is where you have Dan, but then you might have other organizers as well. So you might have more than one organizer here. So they can see that too. And that's the accounting tab. It's pretty straightforward. The target amount is where you say, okay, I've got 30 people coming. This is how much we want to raise. If you want to track that, how many people have joined so far. You don't forget, if you are, as you see here, inviting someone, I don't think we did invite them there, because under here there will be like an invite option. You can see all these people have already been invited, but there is this option here for you to invite someone, and that will trigger the process for them to accept their invite and to pay. So that's a very, very important thing that you will do. So just to summarize, once someone lands in your dashboard, all you have to do is screen them, which you can either do by contacting them or by viewing their questionnaire and their profile. Screen them, invite them. They are automatically going to get payment reminders and everything, and chat with them. That's it. That's all you have to do with the people in the bubble. And liaise with them. So maybe you're going to have like a chat around early arrivals, pre-build. There'll be a pre-build chat. Maybe there's a ticket exchange chat. You can set up different chats for those people. They can't be named right now. We haven't built that feature, but we will build it if we get enough people. Okay, that's the accounting tab, and then getting paid. So we use Stripe. When people pay, like I guess this late in the season, they've probably already paid their camp dues, but for next year, you simply set up Stripe. We do KYC through Stripe. It's very simple and quick. You connect your account. If you've got a 5013C, we can pay you as an instant payout, which means that you get the money as soon as we get the money. And we do that minus our fees. And that's it. So we're still at the moment, our fees, we're playing around with fees. As in we're trying to work out, maybe we'll do a special Burning Man fee. It's just going to be a few percent. If people want to pay by ACH, they can. It takes a few days. ACH is great because there's really no fees, pretty much. There's a few fees, but not very many. It's like, $5 or something. And the rest of it is there for you to play with and work with. This is a list of all of the features that Bubbl, we're 30 minutes here. I've run pretty fast. This actually shows you, we actually have an app here. We can share this later on. This is all of the cool features that Bubbl has. So as you can see, there's much more to Bubbl than just using it for Burning Man. It could be used for anyone running a group trip privately. It can be used for anyone running an event. We probably have a lot of event planners and organizers, whether they like it or not. They probably maybe you're doing fundraising events. You could actually run an event on Bubbl. You're probably using Luma today, and feel free to keep using Luma, but you actually can run an event on Bubbl. If you do, we can pay you out straight away versus people like Eventbrite, who I think keep you money for some time. So we've got these discoverability features. We've got referral codes for all users. If you want to invite people to Bubbl and get Bubbl credit, you can get user referral code, which is in your update profile. We accept crypto payments. We do payment requests and reminders. Obviously the chat to any and many. The planning confirm stages. If you have a Bubbl that you don't know if it's going to go ahead, you can put it in the planning stage, and what that will do is it won't trigger payment until you've got enough people invited who've accepted. So that's a super important feature on Bubbl to kind of like give reassurance to everyone that, where are we at the stage of this going ahead. I talked about the invite process, the screeners. The user profile has socials for social proof. Our verified ID, it's just a face selfie one. We use one of the best ones from Silicon Valley. And then the interesting thing is you can run your community. So we could actually set you up with a camp community page if you wanted. Probably you won't need it, but if you want, we actually have this page where your camp members can, on their user profile, say that they're a member of your camp, which I think is kind of cool. And then that will be in their profile, so they can associate and affiliate themselves with that particular camp they've been in. And this here is just a set of, I'll leave you to read this on your own, but like in terms of the stages, this is what the leader can see, that your Bubbl goes through the draft stage to the waiting for approval stage to the planning stage. If your Bubbl is definitely going ahead, just switch it to confirm stage straight away, because that means that when you invite people, they'll be asked to pay. Then we have obviously the Bubbl started. That's an automatic thing based on date, and then that when it's finished, so that's time to start planning your next Bubbl. On the finish stage, that's when we send out, the ratings. People can rate each other. They can rate the camp manager, the camp itself, and the camp manager, but also they rate each other, which I think is particularly important because that can foster really good behavior from people wanting to get rated well to be in a Bubbl for next year, for a camp for next year. And then we have Bubbl statuses. We have members and leaders. So we have pending review. So if you apply to be a Bubbl as a member, you will be, when you first apply, it'll say that you're pending review. When the Bubbl leader's in contact, it'll go to under consideration. Then you'll either be invited or rejected. And the applicant will then either accept their invite or reject their invite, and then they're invited to book, and then they're booked once their payment is completed, and then they would have like signed up for their duties, and they prepare for their adventure. That is it. That is the entire Bubbl thing. Can I use it for? So I'm just seeing the questions here. Thank you, Andrew, for giving us your questions. Can I use it for events? Oh, there's a lot of things on here. Let me go through them. Is it easy enough to have my Bubbl up and going in time for the burn? Yes, it literally takes 5 minutes, and we can help you set up your Bubbl. If you want to use it for camp duties now for the burn, or to collect any fees or money, you can absolutely do it today. Send an email to team@bubbl.co, and we will help you get set up. In fact, we can do a call with you, team@bubbl.co. That's the one. The next one is easy enough. Yes, we talked about that. Can I use it for other events? 100%. You can use it for weddings. You can use it for overnight retreats. If you're a retreat owner, you can use it for holidays. You can use it to go to conferences. You can use it for anything you want. What will be our obligation to pay? So at the moment, we're not charging leaders anything. We're going to bring in a Bubbl Passport membership soon, where it will be in your best interest as a leader to pay for that. But today, we're not charging you. What we are charging is your camp members a percentage. I think I was going to make it 3% for camp members for Bubbl burn, for the burn. We normally charge 8%, but I'm willing to make that 3% plus credit card fees if they use a credit card. And if they use ACH, then it will be 3%. So hopefully they'll use ACH debit. Which is, I think, a really great deal considering what other platforms charge and what it's costing us to provide this. Seems you've made really simple. I will be able to get assistance. Yes. So email team@bubbl.co to get set up. I think that's it. What we're going to do with this is share this masterclass to various platforms and groups, probably the Tech Burning Man one I will share it to. And just to say that, everyone at Burning Man is welcome to, anyone can create a Bubbl. You can also create a Bubbl if you want to share your RV and you're not even in the camp. Because obviously the whole purpose of Bubbl was to share something by room or bed. Clearly a Burning Man RV would be perfect for that. I actually have the Mampa. Wait, where's the Mampa link? We have the Mampa. We are, shameless plug here. Where's the Mampa? I have a Mampa because I'm not going because I'm fundraising. Here it is. This is a good example. This is I don't know if you can see this, but I'm going to put this in the chat. This is the Mampa. Are you guys seeing my screen still? No, I'm going to show you my screen. I'm going to show you how I'm going to show you a Burning Man camper right here. This one. So this is my camper. The Mampa is your Burning Man base camp. You can rent it as a single person, or you can rent it as a 2-person cozy camper share. So you can either pay, I think it's $27.12 for the whole thing, or I can sell it for 2 people for $14.10 each. There are 2 full beds. It's really cool. I renovated it a couple of years ago. And as you can see, this is who should, easygoing burners who know how to care for a space and who can tow a vehicle like this. And how cool is it? It's so cool. It's got cute little cabin, little cute curtains. It's got running water. In fact, check this out. It's got, where is it here? It's got air conditioning, a generator, fridge, portable toilet. We needed that for the Renegade. Running water, solar shower, bedding and a kettle, camp chairs, all of that can be supplied, an extra food cooler, a tow hitch and a bike rack and 2 full beds. And a fridge. The fridge was the new addition, in the last year. Bit the bullet and put the fridge in. Basically everything you need for an amazing burn. The most important thing is the air conditioning works really well. And because of the high ceiling, it is incredibly spacious inside and feels like you're in your own cocoon. And as you can see here, all the extra features, that's the bed. If you're very tall, you might not want to rent the Mampa, but yeah, it's cool. So that, my friends, is available. I think we've got some inquiries, but we haven't rented it yet. And we look forward, did you get the listing there? We look forward to having lots of burners, save lots of time, having lots of camp managers, having lots of burners be on the same page, having lots of camp managers just be able to turn Bubbl on and use it for Burning Man this year or next year. Alexis, anything else I've missed? Don't think so. He will give me the thumbs up if I have missed anything. Everyone, thank you for your time. Have a great time. Fuck your burn, as they say. Burners will understand me by that.